"Sir, you can't have this boat here. Move it before I call the police." That was the first thing she said to me. No hello, no introduction, just pure entitlement, wrapped in a pink blazer. I'd been home less than 48 hours. After 6 long years overseas, I wanted peace, just quiet mornings, and the rhythm of the water I grew up on. My father used to say this lake carried our family's heartbeat. Now that he was gone, it felt like the only thing I had left of him. So that morning, I took the old aluminum boat from the shed, brushed off the dust, and pushed it down to the dock. The air smelled like pine and rain. The second the engine hummed to life, something in me settled. This was home again. 5 minutes into the ride, I heard her, that sharp, commanding voice, slicing through the calm. "Hey, you need to get that thing off the lake right now." I turned to see her marching down the shoreline like she owned it. Short blonde hair, sunglasses that probably cost more than my outboard motor, and a face pinched like she'd swallowed vinegar. I killed the engine, half out of confusion, half disbelief. "Ma'am, is there a problem?" She pointed a manicured finger at me. "That boat violates HOA guidelines. You can't use it here." I blinked. "The lake isn't HOA property," she scoffed. "It is now. You've been gone for years, Mr. Whatever your—" Things have changed. Her name was Brenda Lockwood, the self-appointed queen of the Crescent Ridge, HOA. A woman who thought her title made her untouchable. "Look," I said, keeping calm, "my family owns this lake. Always has." Brenda smirked, pulling a bright orange slip from her folder like a traffic cop. "Then consider this your official violation notice. 48 hours to remove that boat, or there will be consequences." And just like that, she turned and marched away, heels clacking like war drums. I sat there for a minute, staring at the ripples on the water, my father's words echoing in my mind. People will try to claim what they didn't earn. Never let them. That evening, I went inside and pulled out my father's old records, deeds, maps, ownership papers. The ink was faded, but the truth was clear. Every inch of that shoreline, every acre of that lake, still belonged to the Miles family. So, 48 hours later, when I heard heavy footsteps on my driveway, I wasn't surprised. Brenda had returned, this time with 2 men in fake tactical vests. HOA enforcement stamped across their chests like they were in some low-budget cop show. She smiled sweetly. "Well, Mr. Miles, I warned you. Now we're here to make sure you comply." I crossed my arms. "You're trespassing." Her smile cracked. "Excuse me? This isn't HOA property. It's mine. You're on private land." She huffed. "Watch your tone. These men are here to remove your boat." The taller one stepped forward, trying to look tough. "Sir, you need to move it now." I met his stare. "No, I don't. My name's on the deed." Brenda's voice rose an octave. "That's enough. You've been gone too long to understand how things work here." "No," I said quietly. "You've been here too long thinking you can take what doesn't belong to you." Her jaw tightened. "Fine. You want to play games? Let's call the real police." She whipped out her phone and dialed 911, making sure to project her voice loud enough for the neighbors to hear. "Yes. Hello. There's a black man operating an illegal boat on HOA property. He's refusing to leave." I sighed. Here we go. When the police arrived, I was ready, binder in hand, documents lined up. The officers looked them over carefully. One of them turned to Brenda and said, "Ma'am, this man owns the lake. You need to step away." Brenda's face turned the color of a bruised tomato. "That can't be right." "It is." The officer cut her off. "You're trespassing." Her enforcers suddenly remembered they had somewhere else to be. Brenda stormed off, muttering, "This isn't over." She was right. It wasn't. That night, I slept better than I had in years. For once, the lake was quiet again. But peace never lasts when arrogance feels challenged. Around midnight, headlights flickered outside my window. 2 shadows moved toward the dock. They were back, the same HOA enforcers, creeping through the dark like amateurs in a bad heist movie. By dawn, my boat was gone. The ropes dangled loose. The dock light was smashed. It didn't take a genius to figure out who did it. But Brenda had forgotten one thing. My property had cameras by noon. I had everything: faces, license plate numbers, even the timestamp of the theft. The sheriff's office moved fast. Within hours, the two men were in custody, sweat pouring down their faces under harsh interrogation lights. When they cracked, it wasn't dramatic, just fear. It was Brenda, one of them confessed. She told us the lake was HOA property. She told us to take the boat and handle him if he resisted. That was all the sheriff needed. They built the case piece by piece: phone records, text messages, a storage unit rental in Brenda's name by the time the deputies showed up at her house. Half the neighborhood was outside watching. "Brenda Lockwood," the deputy called out. "You're under arrest for conspiracy, property theft, and impersonating law enforcement." She came out in her bathrobe, still trying to look composed. "You can't do this. This is my community." The deputy didn't blink. Not anymore. The neighbors didn't say a word. Some turned away. Others whispered. For the first time, Brenda looked small, not powerful, not feared, just small. They cuffed her and led her to the car. I stood at the end of my driveway, arms crossed, watching as she finally faced the consequences she'd spent years avoiding. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just breathed, slow, steady, free. Later that evening, the sheriff stopped by to update me. "She's done, Terrence. Removed as HOA president, facing multiple charges. You won't hear from her again." I nodded. "Good. I just want peace." He smiled. "After what you've been through, you've earned it." As the sun set, I walked down to the dock. The sheriff's men had recovered the boat, still intact. I ran my hand along the faded paint, hearing my father's voice in my head again. "Protect what's yours. Not because it's property, because it's legacy." The water was still, the reflection of the orange sky stretching across it like glass. This lake wasn't just ours on paper. It was home, history, memory. And tonight, it was finally mine again.